Welcome back to Dream Drop Distance and the first dive sequence of the game. Basically what dives are think of the gummy ship sections from KH1 and 2. They're basically how you get to each world. You'll do one as Sora and one as Riku, and if you do well enough, you'll get an A rank or a gold star or whatever, and you'll get a special prize, so try and aim for that.
I don't know, I wasn't really a big fan of these, in all honesty. Like, the gummy ship sections, they were alright in KH2, but, you know, these have decided to add more, like, arbitrary missions you have to accomplish, like, get this many prize points, or kill this many enemies, or things like that. I just think it's pointless busy work, in all honesty, complicating what should have been a really simple thing, going to a new world. Birth by Sleep is basically, you just drive there. That's it. It's like, you don't go on a trip to Georgia, but meanwhile you have to find these many license plates, or you're not allowed to enter the state. That's just stupid.
I don't know why I find you drive there so amusing. Maybe it's because you're driving there on your key.
Yeah, how come he's not using, like, a Keyblade vehicle while everyone else did? Fortunately, this one is pretty easy. The later ones get stupid.
And if you get a gold rank, you'll get a special prize. And believe me, Spark Dive will really help you out for the first world or two.
I think Spark Dive was, like, the only one I ever got. I just didn't give enough of a shit about these. So, he sleeps standing up like a horse?
Sora, part heartless, part horse.
That would explain very little, actually. That explains nothing at all.
That just
In fact,
raises
that
further
raises more
questions.
questions, yeah.
Hey, what's with my clothes? Must be more of Master Yen Sid's magic.
Magic or a fashion designer?
I have this weirdest feeling we've done this part already.
I'll get ready for the updated world title cards.
I'm not ready.
Traverse Town laying down a fat beat.
Does that mean we're gonna meet characters from Jet Set Radio?
Nonsensical, but awesome.
Hello? Riku!
Fuck you, I'm in my own story.
Talk about noise.
Where you belong, on the ground.
Sora, right?
It's my favourite Square character, Chrono.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm just kidding. This is Neku from The World Ends With You, another Square Enix title from the original DS.
These characters will be appearing in this game trying to hunt for a sequel.
Yeah, but all they're going to find is a countdown that will eventually reveal a remastered soundtrack.
Yeah, we're still a bit bitter about that, aren't we?
Do you remember that debacle?
Oh yeah, I remember that everybody was fucking pissed, because I mean, who gives a shit about like a soundtrack? You can get that off YouTube easy.
And then they announced an iOS version of The World Ends With You, which hinted at a sequel in the secret ending, I'm not sure.
The reason World Ends With You is also in this game is because Nomura also designed the characters from that game, and really look at them, you know it's Nomura.
Anorexic, Japanese stylings, yep, that's Nomura.
I just have a thing, if they're going to be bringing in characters from other games, why not other Final Fantasy characters Nomura hasn't designed, or fuck... Now that World Ends With You in this game, you have to bring in Chrono Trigger. You're legally required to now.
I think Chrono would actually fit in quite well.
Well, he wouldn't say anything, so Sora would have to fill in all of his dialogue.
Jesse McCartney would voice him.
No! Can we not do that and besmirch Chrono's reputation?
Anyway, this is flow motion. This will be your, I guess you could call it your gymnastic or moving abilities for this game. Well, you walk, but now you can fly by bouncing off walls and whatnot as well.
I like to consider it my burden, in all honesty. Because flow motion adds such a pointless element to the game, it doesn't really add anything new to it. You can bounce off walls and shit, and do like shockwaves from the air. That's great, I guess. But at the same time, you can still accomplish the same killing features through your normal command deck and things like that. It's just... My big problem with it is that, especially with the camera in this game, especially when you're in like tight quarters like in Traverse Town, the camera flips out. It has no idea how to deal with your fly moves. So,
basically why they put flow motion in, as far as I can guess, is, you know how you always have dreams about flying, right? Well, this is that taken to its logical gameplay extension.
Yeah, a lot of the design elements of Birth by Sleep... Not Birth by Sleep, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a good game, just to try to get out of here. Of Dream Drop Distance is that it's trying really way too hard to play on the dream and the dropping themes and things like that. And as a result, it's introducing gameplay mechanics that aren't really needed or aren't really good. Like the one back there, Reality Shift, you're never going to use it.
I use it sometimes. They differ from world to world, and, you know, their strength also differs from world to world. Some are good, some are kind of meh.
Most of the time, I just don't use it except when I absolutely have to, and maybe like once or twice extra in a world later on. That's it. I have Pokemon as well!
Pokemon? This is barely Monster Rancher.
Monster Rancher, Pokemon, Beatamon, Digimon. There's a lot of Mons out there, isn't it?
Bakugan.
Metabots. Well, Metabots would have been cool. That's why it's not in this game, you see. There's like a toll they couldn't pay for coolness.
Now, if Neku summoned Metabee, I'd be fucking down. It's like, yeah, let's go, baby!
And during a boss fight, Mr. Referee shows up. Besides jumping around, flow motion also lets you do various combat moves, a lot of which seem to have the purpose of trying to invalidate the command deck, because you could bounce off walls, do like multi-hit attacks, shockwave attacks, and things like that. I just don't know. At first when I was playing this, I really felt flow motion was too clunky to use in combat. Later on, I got more used to it, but at the same time, I think it's adding a lot of silly options you don't really need.
It's kind of overpowered as well. I mean, you're not invincible during flow motion, so you gotta be careful, because you can die during it, and trust me, later sections will have you dying a lot if you abuse flow motion, but I agree that it somewhat invalidates the command deck, or at least makes it a less viable option.
And in some instances, you have to use flow motion to actually avoid damage. The design is so lopsided that flow motion is basically required to get out of certain situations intact, and that's just... They just really weren't paying attention with how it interacted with the rest of the game, I think.
It does become less powerful as you go through the game. In the earlier parts of the game, like Traverse Town and the next couple of worlds, it's like the more OP option, but it does become more nerfed over time.
And now we gotta go talk about Dream Eaters, ugh.
To strike down Xehanort, we need the individuals King Mickey spoke of in his letter. We must lead them out of sorrow and slumber.
Are you viewing the Chronicles in this playthrough?
I will show off one of them, and then never again.
Yeah, the Chronicles are basically, you know, what happened in the previous game. You really don't need to be reminded. You know, chances are pretty good that you don't have to. And if you need to know something, we have wikis, other obnoxious fans.
In the past, you could bridge these gaps because the walls were broken. Or because you could open special...
I wish Sora and Riku would just move their arms once in a while. Instead, they just kind of hang there limp during all of these flashbacks.
Always staring, never blinking.
In your first journey, that you brought many worlds back from the darkness, but some never returned completely.
Ain't it always the way?
Is this going to be on the test, Mr. Yen said? Should I be taking notes?
You should always be taking notes.
Always, always. Poorly constructed and conceived by designing idiots.
There are two kinds. Nightmares, which devour happy dreams.
You know, let's just take the metaphysical concept of a nightmare and just sum it up as an evil monster that you have to kill.
An adorable monster.
This is okay, because he's cute. You know, they were selling plushies of that very Dream Eater.
Yep.
I don't know who would buy one or why, but they were there.
And now, Mr. Helldragon, viewers, we are going to take a look at possibly the most important part of Sora's gameplay mechanics, the Dream Eater system.
Honestly, do not like the Dream Eaters. If there was one thing I could yank from Dream Drop Distance and sort of dangle menacingly over a pit, it'd be the Dream Eater concept. I hate how much I have to interact with these stupid little shits in order to get things I want. Because with Dream Eaters, they form your party members. You level up their abilities to get commands and other abilities. And they have you interact with them in a various amount of ways. Not only do you have to fight with them, you have to link with them. You have to play with stupid toys with them.
That's optional.
That's optional, I will admit that. You can also feed them and things like that. But they put a lot of shit into what is honestly should have been a basic system of getting abilities. And they were really proud of this, because Dream Eaters take up so much time playing in the game, leveling them up and all that crap. This isn't fucking Nintendogs. I don't care about these things. Give me the abilities I want in a straightforward and simple manner. Don't make me fuck around with this crap just to get what I want. It's lame.
So I'm just basking in your negativity there.
It's sort of like a negative sun just beaming down on the land. You go to the beach, but then you feel depressed. You're not having fun like you should have at the beach.
As you level up your Dream Eaters and go along the ability tree, you can unlock like new moves that you can use when that particular Dream Eater is actually with you on the field. There are also passive abilities, which are represented by red orbs. Stuff like Second Chance, Treasure Magnet, stuff like that. So those Dream Eaters you definitely want to level up first.
Yeah, and another big problem I have with some Dream Eaters is that in order to have some abilities, not the red ones, those will always stay with you. In order to have some abilities, like attack and health upgrades, you have to keep that Dream Eater in your party. It's lame. And it just kind of discourages experimentation, in my opinion. Because of course I'm going to stick with the fucking Bat, who has like 4 magic haste in there, because I need him all the time.
Now, you can buy some of the moves that you'll be unlocking, like, I don't know, Cure, Curaga. But until that point, you will need that Dream Eater in your party.
Now you notice that back there, the first Dream Eater Tom made was in a black void. Normally what happens is that on the 3DS, it actually uses the camera option, so that it's like in your living space. I just like to think Tom lives in a featureless black void, of which no light or sound can escape.
Yeah, it's called my bedroom.
Oh god! It just opens it up and it's just pure black, and I think I'm likely to be eaten by a Gru. Oh shit.
Every time we start a new commentary, a little sliver of light appears, and I just follow that to its natural conclusion.
That's called hope. Just follow that little bit of hope. But you can, however, turn that off and replace it with a more generic and garish background, so...
I never found out how to do that, personally.
I did that right away, because I fucking hated it otherwise.
Well, it doesn't matter, because you'll never be seeing that screen again.
No way! Hey!
Oh! Mysterious man in black coat that is obviously ominous. Why are you welching on our deal? I'm feeling a bit tired all of a sudden. Maybe it's all the tutorials. See you all next time in Dream Drop Distance. Bleh.